Okay, so let's start with attractive women are the biggest traitors. They say men think with their dicks, and what's their excuse? They are generations of sleeping with and rewarding the cult social order for their activity. Also, you see that they use their bodies to throw men off. If I have time, I'll go over a brief list I made. How they contribute to the New World Order and how it makes people crazy in the head, right? Democracy, demon crazy, and all the wordplay associated with that, and freedom, right? You're free to be dumb, versus you're going to serve one group or another. In anarchy, for example, you will be victimized by cults, and there may, and certainly from now on there wouldn't be, a group of people that are thoroughly dedicated to God and the true A spirit that fights with them. Either you're serving one group or another, or you're this kind of helpless person who's not grouped up with a group of people who's being victimized. So you have the freedom to be victimized, or you're going to group together and come to some kind of consensus or follow some kind of order, and you're going to serve those people. And if they don't serve God, you're going to serve the people of this world for reasons of this world, which is serving this world. So going back to the black God people, the fishermen, they're called themselves the black-headed people, okay? And eventually, I believe Sargon would say that we should rule over the black-headed people. So there does seem to be a mistake in the past. I made a few mistakes. One, I was trying to be too gracious to the opposition view by saying the ideal martial artist was a smaller person. Two, I've connected Sargon with Nimrod, and I thought there was some deeper connection there. Now I'm pretty convinced that Sargon was actually a racist Semite of some kind. And he said that you should rule over the black God people, which is basically like the children of the devil, the humans trying to rule over God, because these are the people that civilized them. Fishermen, think about spear fishing, spearing the fish, the devil on the rampage, ram, the fertility symbol, the goat, the Baphomet, rampage, right? Versus a focused channeling of the spirit of God, right? Channeling is a kind of airhead liberal versus a masculine, pure spirit focused channeling, okay? Of course, we see this how our troops are treated, right? Vietnam veterans, how they went homeless. I came across an article where they were ignoring drugs in the water in a foreign military base, okay? American troops being drugged, okay? How they drug our food, and people ignore it, and that has evolved into covert drugging on a massive scale. We see the Flint, Michigan. We see it in Chicago. I found some old articles of Morgan Hill, the water being poisoned and on purpose by companies and them settling. Okay, so free will, mind, body, and soul, willpower. Okay, Mary. Okay, Ari ruled early dynastic second period. The Mary is a city that lies 330 kilometers northwest of the Tiger Euphrates southern kind of Baghdad area, where almost all the other significant cities lied. In fact, all of them did. Only the Nagar outpost, okay? Nagar, okay? OU Pass outpost, okay? So there's a lot of other things I want to go through, right? Tel Abu Sharin, Tel OBCA Ra-N, Tel Abas A-Rain. Sorry, they are fuming me. They are gassing me. It's making it hard for me. It causes me problems. Whenever I start making videos, I start having problems that are stupid and embarrassing and make it hard. And that's part of the reason why I've decided not to. I decided to put a picture in this video instead. They've also hacked my account, well, on Facebook, and I had to make a new Chuku Haru. And the way they did it, makes no sense. It has to do with the phone number, and so I can use the same phone number for whatever reason. I apologize if some of you don't like this, but this is the truth. It's what has to be said. And the groups that perhaps take the brunt of this are the ones who are misbehaving the most. And that has to be noted carefully. Long ago in Egypt, the greatest embodiment of men were the tall martial artist, who was in the pure spirit of the A, and the big strong man. And this goes back to Heliopolis, the bull of Heliopolis, the cat of Heliopolis, and Nekhen, which is the hawk, Haru, which gives you Narmer and the other guys who defeated the Moon Temple Sumerian types, right? I went over the Mare and the Moors, the traditions of societies, and connected them to Sumer and Mermaid and so on. Okay, and this goes back to morphology, linguistics, etymology, the lexicon, phonetics, anagrams, etc., wordplay, right? The phoenix, Ben bird, the Phoenicians, the Bennu bird, and so on. And how the phoenix was symbolically red, used to twist the hawk as the true symbol of reproduction of the pharaoh and not the phoenix or anything else. Okay, let's talk about manhood rituals. Pederasty in Greece versus, say the Zulu ritual, which was a martial arts ritual. And some rituals are said you pluck the hair off the tail of a lion to become a man in I believe, the Zulu culture. And this is significant and important. Okay, manhood rituals versus dressing like a man and taking the most attractive women. Right? Women dressing sexy as a form to harass and violate you. Okay, they violated you mentally by dressing a certain way, just like gays and stuff can violate you by harassing you and doing things that harass people. Okay, different psychological activities as groups and so on. Waving at you, winking at you, the tongue, the way they dress to try to violate you, your mind, right? Get your mind to associate how they are with that a sexy liberal woman who blurs the line. And it's a form of violating you and harassing you and so on. And it's a form of Satan, a satanic stalking that happens to everybody in society to a certain degree. And there are programs designed to zero in on individuals. So there's the exchange of sexual energy, okay? When a woman notices you, notice that she's hot, right? You have this kind of unwanted sexual energy in many cases, more often than not, that goes her way, and she arouses that energy. So there's some form of an exchange of sexual energy. There's sexualization going on, sensitization, phobias are created, discomfort is created. And it goes both ways. Feeding into it while others take away from it, right? So there are people that feed into it, and there are people that take away from it, that dress humbly and so on, and that are trying to minimize that kind of behavior and feeling, right? The feeling and the thought come before the behavior. Okay, so obviously women who dress in a slutty way, women who do porn, women who are strippers, they feed into the desire to rape in society. Attractive women and of course women who pose in provocative ways around cars and stuff, they feed into misconceptions of manhood and misperceptions and so on. Attractive women to the righteous hero can never remove their stigma because they deserve it. And unattractive women can never be worthy mates. The middle is the most attractive of the unattractive women. Okay, so there is no halfway for them to be. What needs to happen is the attractive woman to the hero, mind you, not to the general population, because everyone needs to get what they would naturally get for things to be fair. So the attractive women should naturally go to the righteous hero and the attractive martial artist, and anyone else who's a true hero and not some controlled opposition, illusion bitch, right? So the natural martial art hero, pure light, sun temple, not yin yang. Think about a bull with horns. Okay, the goat, the ram rather, horns and being horny versus desiring love, the heart as the seat of intelligence, circulating the junk out of your system as you get your heart rate up from working out, aerobic exercise, and martial arts is the most demanding exercise and so on. So why does my heart desire women the same way, even though they're chemically castrating me and I have a marked reduction in sex drive and sexual desire? Because this has to do with the male masculine heart spirit. So you can castrate someone like me and they will just despise society and want to hurt them. It will just make it worse because there's this other spirit, it comes from the heart, that is driving the desire to be intimate with women, and it's not purely hormones and sexual desire alone. Okay, so of course it's a man's desire for a woman, which you cannot find that in a woman's desire. Love, for that reason, love. A woman cannot love a woman, truly, for that reason. Okay, so, and a man cannot love a man. Injecting sexual attraction from spiritual... okay, so... all right, so they're trying to inject sexual attraction, a non-spiritual, towards a woman, okay? And impressing upon people the thought process that allows them to settle set the stage for catfishing. So they're using this not only to get you to be catfished by gays, but to settle for unattractive women, because now we've aroused sexual desire in you, and we've they have, rather, and they're the pan, they're the bowl, right, that covers the light. Okay, and there's variations of this, right? Bottle it up, right? Bottle, pan, pot, bowl, plates, different things in weed, right? Pot, to cover up understanding, that allow for the sexual desire to be unfocused and confused, and which allows for people to turn gay and turn people out and so on. And then a child, before they develop into a man, is confused, they get turned out, and they grow up thinking that they're gay and so on. So it starts with the denial. I can't really read my writing here, but this is part of the formula that they set the stage. Okay, I broke it down in the side. It was hard to read. Anyway, so we get Osiris. It was called the Bull of Ament, right? Kenti Ament to you. Okay, Ament was also the underworld. So he's the Lord of the Black. He's the Lord of the underworld. Amen was said to be the lord of the thrones of this world, and his empire stretched from the Euphrates to the Sudan. It does seem to imply that Southwest and Southern Africa are the heavens, the Zulu, the children of heaven, the people of heaven, the leopard society, Ra, and so on. And that perhaps Crete was considered the underworld. Minos, okay, the Minotaur, the bull of Ament, Apis, Mont, all connected. Min, the bull of Min, the strong arm, Amen, and so on. Okay. So they turn up the desire, right? Dressing sexy. Okay, porn stars, right? Porn stars and all the porn we have, once you get addicted to watching porn and buying Playboy and so on, you see a lot of women naked and partially naked and so on. And it helps you imagine what it would be like to see women that look similar to them in society. They're doppelgangers and just women who look similar in general. Imagine, hey, what would it be like to have sex with them? This is another way to increase sexual desire. You see an attractive woman, hey, she kind of looks like that porn woman. And that loser in that porn was fucking her, right? They tend to be losers, fucking bad bitches in pornos, having sex with attractive women. And that makes you feel some type of way. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're sexually frustrated, which leads you to be less focused, right? If you get frustrated, you're less focused and you're going to make mistakes. Just imagine how that plays out in video games and schoolwork and martial arts and so on, okay? They're throwing you off. Okay, so there's sexual displays, which helps us imagine women as we pass by them. So there's high sensitive and there's hypersensitive. Hypersensitive are responses in plants to prevent the spread of infection. There are also responses in humans to react to the nonsense. And psychologists say you need coping skills. Martial artists would say you need some kind of martial arts angle, mind, body, soul, spirit, and fighting the spirit of evil. High sensitive is biological, according to psychologists, and is characterized by one's reaction to stimuli in the environment. Cons was said to have shaven head. You could draw parallels to Buddhists and gender neutral of the younger. All right, so I'm out of time. This is part 2. We'll explore this more later. Real fast, there's teammate. Team, when applying the anagram principle, you can get mate from it, M-A-T-E, from T-E-A-M, okay? Also, they did studies about changing certain letters. When you read it, the brain will automatically adjust it and make it so it allows you to read it. And also loyal, lay-L, okay?